Just yesterday, about 2 days ago anyway, we've been having this security report that some people were planning to come and burn the local government here, the local government secretariat. I asked my men to follow up and play along with the situation after analyzing the reports. So yesterday night, they told me that some people had gathered to effect the action to burn down the local government. And as a matter of fact, some of them were hiding in the bush, making calls and all that, arranging how things will be done, and assembling their materials. So I personally drove to the place. That was around 8 o'clock in the night. I drove to the local government to find things out myself, because I didn't want hearsay. So when I read there, I saw that it was real. So I came back and asked my commanders to mobilize our men, which they did. So we stormed the local government. When I went the second time, I met the local government chairman who came there because maybe he had the information too. I didn't even know he was a chairman because I've not seen him before. So I asked my men to take over the local government and to make sure that nobody came into that place, not to talk of burning the local government. So I left. That's not why I called this. I want to give this report. I want to do this video. I was just going to the internet last night. I saw that my friend, Governor Wike, Eson Wike, did a state broadcast where he reinforced the classification of IPOB as a terrorist group. I'm in support of Wike in this. That's a good thing Wike did. And I'm asking the Southeast governors to also reinforce the classification of IPOB as a terrorist group. The other day I was speaking with the World Igbo Congress, Europe, and I told them that if someone says it's not a terrorist group, and they are killing people, asking people to kill soldiers, kill policemen, burn houses, kill the leader of Ohaneze Ndibo, and all that, what are you then? If you say you're not a terrorist organization, what are you? You tell us what you are. So they have shown, IPOB has shown that they are a terrorist group, and they should be dealt with as a terrorist group. If IPOB is fighting for Biafra, I should be the happiest for it, because they are helping in facilitating the realization of Biafra. Not many people knew how Nnamdi Kanu came into the picture. Not many people knew that Nnamdi Kanu was picked up by me in 2009. Not many people knew that I went to London and opened Radio Biafra London. Not many people knew at what stage the DSS, then was SSS, came in and snatched Nnamdi Kanu from me. Nnamdi Kanu was not the first people the SSS or DSS, whatever, assigned or took away from me to do a yeoman job for them. The first was Ambrose Anyaso, who was detained with me. They called him out and promised him heaven and earth to work against me, to bring the struggle down. He agreed with them because two of us were detained, I at the underground SSZ facility in Abuja there. We stayed there for 6 months in Abuja, their head office. When we came out, Anyasa told me everything and said he wouldn't do that. The next person that approached was Arinze Bani. They all refused because they were my loyal colleagues. Then when I opened Radio Biafra London, because Nnamdi Kanu was away from me, he was in London and I was here, they approached him. I knew when Nnamdi Kanu went to Abuja from London. I knew. They told, my contacts that told me. Since then, he started working for them. Not many of his members knew that, or still know today that Nnamdi Kanu is not working for Biafra. They don't know. These people harassing others and insulting people, insulting me. They don't know that their leader or so-called spring leader is not working for Biafra. But one day, the truth will come out. They will know. He's not working for Biafra. I'm not jealous of him. He's not nothing to me. Okay, what bothers me is how he is putting our youth in a harm's way. Our youth are being killed on a daily basis in their numbers. Last night I was asking myself, these boys now who were in the bush by midnight, trying to come and bomb, scatter the local government, burn the local government. Suppose something happens to them there. Suppose they have a snake bite, or that the military men came in and shot at them and they died. They will die just like that. For somebody who is working his own. Along the line, he fell out with the federal government. Because this is an incorrigible fellow I know so well. You can never satisfy him monetarily. He fell out with the federal government. They are quarreling. The other day, he was telling his members how he went to Sierra Leone, from Sierra Leone to Israel, blah, blah, blah. He told them that the ones he wanted to tell them. But he never told them how he got the documents to travel. Because the judge told us that she had her documents, Nigerian passport and the British passport. At what stage were those passports given to him? When he went to Sierra Leone, which document did he use to travel to Israel? He's an agent. He's an agent. But not many people know. But that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is what he talks. Things he knows he cannot do. He wants to instigate riots, destabilization. And that's what he wants. Okay, take for instance, what he said about SARS or whatever. He wasn't part of the game. But he came to take over. Like he took over my Radio Biafra, London. He wasn't the person who formed IPOB. It was Emeka and the late Ikedife that floated IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra. They contacted him to use Radio Biafra to propagate their ideas, to let the world know about them. As for the purpose I set up the radio itself. Nnamdi Kanu came up to say that the saboteurs, after they had given him everything, the platform, he took over the platform from them and said they were saboteurs, that he is the supreme leader. That's what he is doing now. He has seen that the organizers of the program, what do you call it? NSAS, that have succeeded in making an impact, has come to hijack it, to mean or to seem as if he was the organizer. Now he's talking about revolution. Revolution for the youth. Which youth? Nigerian youth. That means you are no more talking about Biafra. That means you are no more the supreme leader of indigenous people of Biafra. Now we are talking for the whole Nigerian youth, propagating a revolution. for the whole Nigerian youth, saying that Buhari must come and speak in both English and Fufudu. What does that have to do if you are looking for Biafra? They are now working for Nigeria. As what? As a head, you want to be the head of state of Nigeria now. You don't want to be the sweep leader of Biafra again. So people should understand. Someone was saying Igbo leaders should assure Yorubas that Nnamdi Kanu is not speaking for Igbo. How can Nnamdi Kanu speak for Igbo? If any Yoruba man thinks Nnamdi Kanu is speaking for Igbo, that's a very big insult to our sensibility. You cannot say Nnamdi Kanu is speaking for Igbo. There is one boy in London they call Adenka's grandson, who says Igbo should leave Lagos. Can we now say Adenka's son is speaking for Yorubas? Huh? Even if he speaks for Yorubas, Nnamdi Kanu cannot speak for Igbo. What the Yorubas should do is to set up a judicial commission of inquiry. The governor should set up a judicial commission of inquiry and see the culpability otherwise of Igbo participating in such unholy acts. I can swear to that. No Igbo man will ever do that. For what? In Nigeria today, that it's only the Igbo tribe that strives to make their money through their sweat. Other tribes use government to make their money. So we strive, suffer to make our money, to make our daily living. We can never try to destroy another person's property because we know how we suffer to make money, to invest. Even like an Igbo man by the roadside is selling his wares. He has no time. He cannot abandon his wares to enter Oba's palace or to go burn somebody's property. So you do the inquiry and find out if it is true that Igbo took part in such dastardly acts. The man who is speaking in London, you look at him very well and see if he is making any sense. The way he was talking, you have the clips of his videos, and you think and reason whether that is how a reasonable man talks or somebody whose brain is intact. I have on a very good record and information that his senior brother, immediate senior brother, died of madness. Go to his Afaruku and find out whether it is true. And he is aware of all these speculations. He has not denied it. As a leader of an organization, I have my cells everywhere in Igbo land. Any information I want, I have it within seconds. His senior brother, the senior brother of Nnamdi Kanu, immediate senior brother, died of madness. Died of madness. Clinically. Then look at how we reason, how we talk on the radio. Put it together and see whether it is the handwork or the reasoning of a normal human being. For someone to say such a character can be the spokesperson of Igbo. I made the appointment by mistake. I appointed him the director of Radio Biafra by mistake. If anybody should write about Nnamdi Kanu today, I should be the person because I appointed him. I made him what he is today. So it is very important that the governors of the Southeast straighten the classification of IPOB as a terrorist organization and stop all the activities in Igbo land as Nelson Wika has started. And the Yoruba people, why I'm doing this video in English, is for the Yoruba people to know that somebody as low as Nnamdi Kanu cannot speak on the Igbo. As what now? How can he speak for our people? It's an insult to say that. I've told many of my friends from the Yoruba land that he cannot speak for us. And of course, you have heard Ohanes Ndigbo say he cannot speak for us. And that stands. Thank you very much.